So people keep saying the fate of the democracy is at stake. And then right after that, they say, we must now vote between the lesser of two evils. Michelle Obama said, vote like your life depends on it. And then they present you with this guy.
I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot.
The so-called last hope, y'all.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare.
Just spoke now.
At the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the, I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn, turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
So why did he learn about roaches again?
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what, the men, they're now all men, the guys I work with down here, and they're all guys at the time.
They were all guys at the time, but they're men now.
They're all good men. I know I'm called middle class Joe. It's not meant as a compliment, means I'm not sophisticated. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it, it's so much.
Yeah, hard to watch,
by the way, it costs a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years. If you
billion sounds like a lot.
Agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. If you want to be part of this campaign, pick up your phones. Pick up your phones now. Send a text to the word United to the number 30330 30330.
Don't even know your own stuff, and it rhyme with your name so you can remember it.
Or 303-330. Or BOO. Wait. You got it. It's on the back there. Now he's feeling the pressure of an economy that's teetering on a recession.
Oh.
My long friend, she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life. Don't worry, I'm so serious. Children, I love to hear them. But President Trump and the demagogues around the world, but if Donald Trump is reelected, so people are figuring out there's not a damn thing we can do that we set our mind to that we can't get done. And the reason is not just to help people who have or in fact are and like till they get Alzheimer's.
People who like till they get Alzheimer's. Who are these people he talking about? Who is Donald Trump and the Democrats?
We provide a Medicare option. That's exactly what Rap Rock and I talked about in the beginning.
Rap Rock?
Couldn't get it through, though.
We can do it, and it's going to take billions of dollars to do it, and we can afford to do it. We can't afford not to do it. The single most stressed I was asked to speak to the American Psychiatric Association, to go over to the University.
You need to speak to him again.
To go over to the University of London and speak to the World Psychiatric Association. It's interesting. I just spoke to the International Society of Psychiatric, the International Organization of Psychiatrists. I forget the formal name of it.
He just spoke to him, though.
Over in London, because Saks or Benettons or Nike or whatever in the market in their places where the malls.
Malls is what he was trying to.
Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
Nobody asked you if it was hypothetical. You finally get his name right and you're campaigning for him.
Ran what they call the moonshot, dealing with cancer. And subsequently after that, set up the Biden Cancer Initiative. And here's the point. So have a mechanism to control drug prices. You know, it's not, we're no longer using chemical-based things. All this thing we're dealing with cancers and other issues relating to the immune system are bio-oriented. And by the way, the idea that NATO... Stop!
This the guy who's supposed to be talking to foreign leaders. This is the chosen guy you keep telling me to vote for.
Stop trying to keep your workers organized.
Stop trying to keep them burgermized or whatever he said.
It's about all these breakthroughs we have with the whole, dealing with the whole, immune system.
Bobby Boucher.
I want you to know, if you look at PolitiFacts, there's things that are worth dealing with China tough on. We all
think about that.
Also know we need teachers. My wife is a full-time teacher, taught all during when we were vice president. You ever heard a president of the United States talk about law enforcement like he does today? I oversaw, as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee a long time, the FBI. Look what he talks about.
And what are you talking about?
Good afternoon, everyone. As Lily already indicated, I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden. That's who he is.
70. But my wife, Jill, as you know, and Doug Emhoff, Kamala's wife, are there. Kamala will be back later this week.
Kamala's wife.
I think on Friday. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. And so, folks.
So that's what's been going on this whole time, huh? And who is that cheering?
But we lead by the example of our power, not just the power, not just the example of our power, but the example we're out there, and it's what we say. Senator John, I mean, no.
That's a bad example.
No, but I mean, it's not about, I know you're supporting by saying booing, but look, here's the deal. I looked at it, anyway, that's what I think my plan, I know what my plan does.
You sure?
Don't have here in Miami, in Florida. You don't have it here, and that is if you keep an audience.
You don't have a Miami in Florida. What is he saying? You don't have a
de-escalation studies have marked. Excuse me. There have been de-escalation studies. She has an expression. She teaches full time and has taught full time. She taught full time as the second lady. She taught 15 credits a semester. She's never stopped teaching. She's going back in 2 weeks to teach as well, to continue.
So that's his speech. He's trying to relate to the everyman because his wife is a teacher, but he's always weird with it. Can't even talk about his own wife.
Need to teach. 65 out of every 100 jobs today require training beyond high school. 65 out of every 100. They go to school from a middle class or upper middle class, and having heard, the estimates are as many as 4 million more words spoken.
You need less spoken, Joker.
You know, the next thing we got to do here along the line to report people's dignity, restore it.
Is that what we got to do, y'all?
My wife, who is a teacher, she's teaching now. She's back in the classroom at a community college where she teaches in Northern Virginia.
She need to teach you something. My wife is teaching now. Teaching now. It's some bull crap.